the representative from Guam. Mr. Moylan is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Madam Ranking Member, and thank you for hosting this important hearing on expanding educational choice. School choice allows parents and families the freedom to choose the schools that work best for them. In my district of Guam, people often work outside their villages, sometimes on the opposite side of the island. Situations like these sometimes make it difficult for parents who want to ensure that they are home for their young children when they are out of school. So expanding school choice across the board, both private and public, empowers families to choose what works, giving needed flexibility in districts like my own. My question is for Mrs. Clark. You mentioned that your family had to jump through a variety of hoops. And before qualifying for educational savings account, we all want to make sure that the government funds are spent responsibly. What ways, if any, can state lawmakers slash red tape or redundant reporting requirements so that families can navigate the system more easily?
Thank you for the question. Well, the whole idea behind school choice and ESAs is parents' rights. We want to give control back into the hands of parents so that they can direct the dollars and put them in the education environment that best meets their child's needs. So I advocate for really flexible ESA programs that are open immediately, or what we call universal, to all families. It took us over 12 years to get that in Arizona. And of course, once we had universal ESA, the number of students on it just skyrocketed because we removed those barriers. I also think requiring prior public school attendance, it's not good for the public school system, and it's very difficult for families, especially students with disabilities, who often would have to go enroll their child in a public school and then pull them out just to qualify. And also what I mentioned earlier, we don't want to burden public schools. And so allowing families like Arizona has to use a private diagnosis of your student with a disability instead of having to go through the public school system. You can if you want to, but you're no longer required to go through the public school system to prove your student has a disability. Those are three reforms and removal of red tape that I think other states should consider.
Thank you, I appreciate that. My last question will be for Mr. Blanks. You mentioned that school choice nurtured your intellectual and academic potential. Can you elaborate further on how school choice programs can help create pipelines to meaningful, well-paying jobs in rural, remote districts like mine?
Yeah, well, thank you for that question. And to go off of some of that, I was supposed to be a statistic. I was supposed to be in prison or not even here today. And if it weren't for school choice, there's no telling where I would be. And so thinking about not just the academic portion that school choice helps a child, I always say that you may not be in the classroom, but you're always a student, and being able to take advantage of those opportunities to progress even after graduating high school or college or whatever the case may be has been monumental in my own life. I mean, never in a million years would I imagine sitting before you all today. And it was all because of my educational journey. And we can stop a lot of the criminal justice aspect of middle-aged people and people my age if they have a great education. And so I believe that when we're talking about school choice, and we didn't hear a lot about why, once again, as I said earlier, why families want to send their children to a different school in the first place, or why are they not a part of the conversation when we're talking about education. I've seen up until this point a lot of protection for the bureaucracy, and I'm here to fight for students. I'm here to fight for parents and be that voice for them, because even just looking in the room, there's not too many of them here. And so my perspective is we give every single family school choice and allow parents to drive where they send their child to school, because that's the most important thing that a parent can do for their child.
Continue the fight, and we're here to support you. Thank you very much to the panel. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.